December of the year 2010, the day before Christmas Eve, our daughter Aleah went paralyzed. And when a doctor comes and tells you that they're going to have to put your daughter on life support, you know, it just throws you.
With every breath, with every thought, from what is seen.
They diagnosed her with what they call transverse myelitis, which is an autoimmune disease that attacks the spinal cord. And so for all practical purposes, she basically had a spinal cord injury, yet nothing happened to her. Many people that get transverse myelitis don't ever walk again. As many of you know, she's done incredible since then. Honestly, it was just miracle report after miracle report in terms of the acceleration of her healing process and her recovery. The amount of people around us that really care and showed their care was phenomenal, was overwhelming even at times. And so recently we've had the opportunity to go to Baltimore, where Johns Hopkins University is, famous place when it comes to the medical world. Johns Hopkins University also hosts another institute called Kennedy Krieger, and they're the leading therapists and doctors when it comes to transverse myelitis, which is what Aleah had, and physical and occupational therapy.
Well, I stayed at this place called the Believe in Tomorrow Children's Foundation. It was really cool, and that I got to watch movies with some people that were staying there too, with in other rooms.
But while there, something really amazing happened that just kind of opened my eyes as a Christian pastor, father. My daughter was there, and she was, we get there and it's a little cold. We just escaped the snow here, and we got there and it started snowing, and she was complaining and whining about the weather, and she was tired, and we had to walk everywhere, even though I was spoiling her every step of the way. It was wild. It was just lots of complaints and just kids being kids. And we get to the respite housing where we stayed, which basically a bunch of other people that are at this institute who have injuries and similar issues. And there, Aleah made some friends. And there's children there that have had similar stuff that she's had that aren't as recovered. And one of the girls, actually, that was there that had a spinal cord injury was named Macy. And Macy is a 9-year-old whose mom found her outside, pinned underneath a large swing set that had fallen over on top of her, on her neck, and completely paralyzed. And Macy basically, to this day, she's recovered, done a lot of recovery. She's paralyzed from the neck down, but she's still in a wheelchair.
Well, she can't do some stuff that I can't do, but like she can't walk or she can't move her hands that well. She's not able to jump or run or go on any more swing sets or trampolines or anything like that.
To see them in their situation, they've been going through this for years, 3 years, similar to our journey, and to see where they're at in terms of the process. I mean, this is still an immersive thing for them as opposed to what it is for us. And it was amazing, though, what I saw, this little girl, Aleah, my daughter, who was just, being a normal kid, but complaining about, the weather and how cold it was and this and that. But once she made friends with Macy and some of the other young people at this respite housing, the complaining completely went away.
Really happy that I get to see her as a friend, and it was really fun in Baltimore. with her because we got to watch movies and stuff like that, and it was really, really fun.
I was just blown away. I realized that it's when we really put ourselves, I was just kind of, observing this, but when we put ourselves in the situation of others suffering, it saves us from ourselves in a very practical and real way. And we can pray all day long, God, save me from myself. We ask God to save us from our sins and forgive us of our sins, and He's done that. But then it's a lifelong lesson to really get free from self and die to self. And I think a lot of times we're trying to die to self when Jesus gave us the recipe to really practically die. And that is exposing yourself to being present in someone else's suffering. I'm grateful for us and our journey and our ability to participate in supporting others as they go through tough times in their lives.